Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. The news is out there last night, early this morning, that Callum McGregor is a target of ex-manager Brendan Rodgers at Celtic. Would you blame Callum McGregor? I mean, Callum, it's interesting because if you look at the timeline, if you look at what Callum McGregor said after Brendan Rodgers left, I wonder if Brendan Rodgers knew these things that are talked about. People have spoken about it. I wonder if Brendan Rodgers knew that the Saudi Arabia job was was lingering in the background. There was a possibility of him going there. Hence the reason that him and John Kennedy jumped ship, and then John Kennedy ultimately is going to go and join Brendan Rodgers. Callum McGregor said that he had a conversation with Brendan Rodgers when he left, and that would stay private. Now let's look at Brendan Rodgers. Likes Callum McGregor as a player, fantastic player. Celtic fans are divided about Callum McGregor. Some people think that he doesn't do enough. People in the game know how good Callum McGregor is. Martin O'Neill said that Callum McGregor is a fantastic player, underrated. He said he knew he was a talented player, but Martin O'Neill says after working with Callum McGregor, he's a top level player. Callum McGregor's been at Celtic all his life, and in financial terms, he's done okay. By our terms, by me and you, and the kind of money that we would aspire to make in any time of lifetime. In football terms, he's not rich. He's got a couple of years left in him. Would you blame Callum McGregor for leaving Celtic this season with the shit show that the club is in? He's given his full career to Celtic. He doesn't need this shit at this stage of his career. And I, for one, if Callum McGregor was to leave Celtic in the next transfer window and go to Saudi Arabia to make mega bucks, I would say hats off to him, and I'd say fair play, mate. You'd miss him. But then it gets to the next question. Who would be the next Celtic captain? Callum McGregor was always in line to be Celtic captain after Scott Brown, sorry. Callum McGregor was always in the building, and he was always going to be the next captain. Who would be the next captain of Celtic? There is no one that stands out. Callum McGregor is, when you look at his career, he's not had the type of injuries like James Forrest. So tell me in the comments this morning, who do you think that would be Celtic captain next season if Callum McGregor, or even, you never know, we may be in for a shock, and it could happen as early as January. What if Callum McGregor was to be taken by Brendan Rodgers in the next transfer window? And maybe he's had that conversation already with Brendan. We know the way that football works. Although there has to be official, you have to go through the official lines. I just think it would be a shame to lose him, but I would not begrudge him at one bit. Let's jump into the comments and say, Trusty as captain? Oh, God, we really are going down. It has to be KT. Yeah, but if I was Calmac, I'd be seeing out last couple of years of my career on big bucks. Alistair Johnson as captain, says Derek. Alistair Johnson. Is Alistair Johnson going to be... You need someone that's going to be fit the majority of the season. You can count on one hand how many times Scott Brown was out with injury. You can count on one hand how many times Callum McGregor's been out with injury. Your captain is always a fine physical specimen of a player that can dominate games. Although Callum McGregor doesn't dominate games, some people say. His organisational skills on the pitch are second to none at Celtic, and we're going to lose that. I don't blame him for leaving. I wouldn't blame him for one bit. KT or Alistair Johnston after Calmac, I would go down. Preferably, I'd go down the Alistair Johnston route because I don't think that Kieran Tierney is in the headspace of being captain material. I don't see it. I don't see. I love Kieran as a player. Fantastic person. Celtic through and through. If he was to stay injury free, he doesn't seem. I don't see Kieran Tierney as captain. I don't see anybody as captain at Celtic right now. And I don't see anyone that could pull us through the absolute nightmare. Hard to say, really. Don't know who is respected at the club to take on the captain role. That's an interesting one. Probably Kieran Tierney, depending on how the rest of the year goes. This is true. Trusty. Next captain, Tierney. We've no one after McGregor. And that's the sad situation that we find ourselves in this morning. And it's a reality. It's a wake-up call. For everyone that says, drop Callum McGregor, he's shite. You wake up this morning with the reality that we're going to have to live life without Callum McGregor. For me, it's a sad day, if it happens. A lot of shite, he won't leave. Well, Anthony, there's a lot of publications talking about it this morning, and a lot of Celtic media were speaking about it well before I got up this morning. I've only been up for 45 minutes, showered, breakfast, and then back on here to see all your lovely comments in the morning. It's fantastic doing the live. Scott, how are you this morning, mate? KT would be natural captain. Yeah, but is he motivational enough? I think that Kieran's lost something, and he maybe needs that spark. But especially when you see him coming off the pitch, when Wilfred Nancy was telling him to stay on, and he looks fucking confused. You would never get Scott Brown looking confused like that. You never know. Some players can grow into the captain role. Some players like Scott Brown, they're captain. Kieran Tierney, I'm not too sure. Callum McGregor, it was his destiny. It was always Callum's destiny. Do you know, Callum McGregor learned off the best over the years. The sad situation with Celtic this morning is we're a friggin' shambles. And yes, we've got previous managers to blame for the reason that we're in this shambolic state. The man that was put out in front of the camera yesterday, Paulo Bernardo. Oh, free the Paulo Bernardo one. Yeah, that's the face of let's get the players going. I love Paulo Bernardo, but I don't love him. I've not got man hugs and like man crush for Paulo. But does that really say I'm your captain, I'm your leader? It's a crazy situation we're in. Robertson, Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson. That's not got longevity. We've always had captains that have come in, and it's funny because more and more that I'm looking at it, and more that I'm taking a step back, especially when I come off YouTube and you think about the way the club is going, and you look at the parallels to what Man United have went through since Fergie left. And I hope that the fuck we don't go down that road because that'd be just shambolic for the club. But when you look at the likes of Motherwell, who are hot on the tails of the top four, I mean, they're on 27 points. Rangers are on 29 points. Celtic are on 32. There's every chance, and this is why I'm thinking, I don't like saying it. I don't want to say it. But when you look at the parallels of the demise of the Man United team over the years, in Scottish football, we're on the cusp of having a 4-horse race for the title. Now, Hearts may think otherwise because Hearts are away on 38 points in the league. When was the last time that we had a 4-horse race for second place, even? And there's a huge possibility that over the next couple of weeks we could have a serious 3-horse race for second place in Scottish football. We haven't had that really since the 1990s when Celtic were dire and Celtic were going through their own issues. Tierney, if he would stay fit as captain. Tierney, he's not at the races yet. Alistair Johnston for captain. If Chalmers goes, we're going to be in some serious trouble. Yes. And all the haters will command a 30 million fee for Callum. No, he's not. He's only valued at around about 8 million or something. And with 2 years left on his contract, I don't think Celtic are going to ask for big money for him. But if they do, fair play to him. 8 new players in January, at a minimum 7. Changed my mind. Alistair Johnston. You'd have to bring a captain in from elsewhere. Who do you bring in? Who do you bring in that knows Celtic and knows him? We're talking about the manager not knowing Celtic, not knowing that you need to win every single game. Because if you don't, the fans will absolutely pounce on you. We need someone of stature to come into Celtic. And we don't have anyone of stature that would instantly command the respect of the players. That's a hard one for for someone to come into the club and be club captain. It's not the Celtic way. It's always been players that have been at the club for a number of years, fucking hell, I wish Celtic would just fucking change all this and we'd wake up today and it would be happy news. But it's not going to happen. Hence the reasons of my fear more than anything that we're about to do a mirror image of a certain big club down in Manchester. Alistair Johnston, if he wants to commit to Celtic, for more than likely he will want to move after the World Cup. I don't think so. If I was McGregor, I'd be off quick style. Robertson and McGinn in the January window or summer at least to steady the ship for a couple of seasons. That's a good one, mate. That is a good one. I wonder if you would have to bring in someone like that, wouldn't you? But then it comes with a big wage bill. They're not going to come in for the same wages that Callum McGregor was on. These are players that have been used to big wages throughout their career. They're not going to do a Joe Hart and come and join Celtic for 10 grand a week, 15 grand a week. Do you know, Joe Hart's made his money. Maybe they will take a big drop in wages, but being fit all season has just ruled out most of our team, but it's true. It is true, isn't it? It is true. If Cal goes, it's even worse. Indictment on the board. Is it an indictment on the board, or you've got to... Let's look at facts. Callum McGregor came out after Brendan Rodgers said, his exact words were, "I had a conversation with Brendan and that will remain private." That's not clickbait. We're not making it up. We all heard Callum McGregor come out and say that. And maybe he knew, maybe he said to Callum, look, do you want to finish your career in Saudi? Earn some big bucks. The manager knows how much Callum's made throughout his Celtic career. The manager is the one who gave Callum the pay rises at Celtic the first time round. He knows how much money he's been on over the years. He knows that after football, do you know, what does he want to do? Does he want to go into management? Does he fancy it? He's got 2 years left to make some serious dough. I wouldn't begrudge him it, not at all, not at all. And I wouldn't necessarily say. Carmack would definitely be asking Jota for advice, financial advice. Jota would say take it, and then come back and sit on the bench. The only one with no injuries is Whippy the Hound. Whippy the Hound as captain. Taking Callum would be perfect revenge against Desmond for Rodgers. I don't think it's necessarily about revenge for Rodgers. I think I think it just comes down plain and simple. He's a player that knows that he knows, likes, and trusts, and it's a player that is just going. Do you know what, mate? Just look out for your family. You've got 2 years left to make life changing amounts of money, and it comes down to that. Never mind the James Forrest of the world and Calmac possibly being a one-man club. In this day and age, it's all about the coin. It's all about the coin and making sure. I mean, McGregor would speak to Jota and say, what was it like over there? That's fucking brilliant. The money's phenomenal. You earn the money, you bank it, and you're sorted for life. That's the things that we're talking about. You know, Callum would be financially. I mean, I don't think he's going to be bad. He's made a good living. I think Roy Aitken might be too old now. I think so. Maybe. This is the rebuild that should have happened when Ange came in. Maybe the mindset of the boards. Don't hate. We had a rebuild when Ange came in. Ange Postecoglou didn't like young players coming through the Celtic system. Never give young players the chance until it's too late at the end of the season. We could go down the rabbit hole this morning. We could blame Ange. We could blame Brendan Rodgers for the current situation that we're in, not having the youth players coming through to excel at Celtic and possibly be next captain material. You know, we'll wait and see. Danny Cassie says it's going to be 3-0. I'm not even making a prediction for the Aberdeen game. Jesus Christ. Tenecti? Oh, Jesus. Is that how bad we are? Who's still going to be here? Maybe the next captain isn't here yet. Well, this is true. I did mention in previous videos he's not getting on with McGregor. I think he's embarrassed getting called over. CCV always covers, but is injured. It was Schmeichel. Scott Brown couldn't get a game in that team. Yeah. No backbone when he goes. Exactly. And this is I don't like to say it, but the parallels to what we are currently going through to the early days after Fergie at Man United, when we started, when we're slipping, and I hope it does not happen. Pray to God it doesn't happen. Pray to God that hopefully that this Celtic board gets something right. By giving the manager time, could it work? Celtic know that Carmack would be leaving us, but as usual, they never replace the players. Well, if we're not going to replace key strikers, the club's runs. Who could blame them? The team will need to move on. We've lost bigger and better in my eyes. Yeah, Joseph, but we've never got back up. Listen to what you're saying, mate. Yes, I say we move on as a club, but move on going down. We've never replaced Henrik Larsson like for like. We've never replaced Chris Sutton for like. Do you know? We've had some fantastic players over the years, but you've always known who would be captain material at the club. And I think that the situation that we're in is that we don't have that. Hence the reason that I'm saying that the comparisons from another club is you start bringing in players that don't get Celtic. They may say they get Celtic. Do you know, you might bring in a couple of Irish guys just for the fucking shits and giggles. You know, I've fucking been a Celtic fan all my life. Do you want badge kissing fuckers to come into the club and put in 90%? Or is it a bygone era? I mean, Brendan Rodgers said about a year ago, that we're coming to the end of an era. Brendan Rodgers knew it a year ago. We're coming to the end of an era where you're going to have real Celtic men that have came through the club. The players that have all come through the club right now, the only one that there's nobody that's not getting stick. It then says to me is, who the fuck would want to stay at Celtic as a young player? Tony Ralston gets it in the neck. One of us, Celt through and through. Stephen Welsh gets it in the neck. Came through the system. Not good enough. Kieran Tierney gets it in the neck. Sold for 25 million, came back. Oh, he's past it. He's fucked. Fucking shite. Callum McGregor gets it in the neck. Fucking Mr. Pointy Pointy. What the fuck's he doing off fucking game? Who would want to take that on the chin and come to Celtic when it's Brendan Rodgers was right, we're coming to the end of an era. And all you're going to get in is journeymen. People that just come for the wage and come for the stepping stone. Going to England. And that'll happen even worse. That'll happen even more. And that's the sad situation that we're heading into. How bad is this going to get? I've said in previous videos how bad I think it's going to get. I'm not going to repeat myself today. And I think it's, like I said last night, sit in your chair, strap in your seatbelt, make sure it's a 4-point seatbelt like the rally cars, because we're in for a hell of a ride. McCown, Celtic in his veins. Yeah. But then it would be another player. Can Luke McCown command a place in the team every single week? A lot of people think that Luke McCown's not Celtic standard on the European stage. I get that one. It's a cracking, but he's not up there with Callum McGregor. He's not even up there with Callum as Luke. So he's nowhere near as good as Callum. And yes, he could be the kind of motivator, but that's a hard one. Can't see Callum Mack moving, mate, to be honest. He's Mr. Tim. He'd die for the club. Ooh. I wouldn't put a bet on that. Because repeating that one. Wilfred Nancy got his first win yesterday. The vote of no confidence. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the shambles that was yesterday, because I spoke about it last night, and hostage Paulo. Oh, it was, wasn't it? It's like looks as if he's been dropped in behind enemy lines. He's like, just take me back to Celtic. I have to read out this statement. Paulo Bernardo's like, I have to read this statement on the behalf of my captors. Wilfred Nancy has me in the firing line. Everything's fine. We're all good. We have all to back the manager. It will get better. It's not just the manager. It's the players. Oh, the hostage Paulo. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a cracker. 2 seconds while I'm just taking a screenshot of that. Oh, we need to laugh, because if we don't laugh, there's one thing for sure. With the headlines out there this morning, they're There's another headline that's out there this morning that says Celtic made an inquiry for a new manager to replace Wilfred Nancy despite Michael Nicholson's playing. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sneeze. Celtic have been sounding out managers as the pressure grows on Wilfred Nancy. Michael Nicholson seemingly came out and backed Wilfred Nancy. But I'm not buying it. It is the dreaded vote of confidence, isn't it? When you get that vote of confidence, it's I'm just reading a couple of headlines here. Nothing new. There's a lot of the Celtic sites are now running with the Callum McGregor to join Brendan Rodgers in Saudi Arabia. There's never no smoke without fire, and it's like yesterday. There was no smoke without fire yesterday. Do you know whoever leaked out the nonsense yesterday? Just there's a shitload of super chats from Danny Cassie. Go yourself, Danny. Wee Mitch, evening all, Baz and the One Celtic fan view. Hope for everyone is well this morning. Even though it's evening with Wee Mitch. Evening. And then he says, good morning. How to confuse someone first thing in the morning, mate. I hope you're good. Danny Cassie, and then Danny Cassie again, and then Danny Cassie again. Danny Cassie is just off the scale this morning. Thank you, Danny. Sorry, I just seen them coming up. Let's jump back into it. The only other option I see is Luke McCowan. He has the fight, understanding the meaning of playing for Celtic. Yeah, I think Luke, maybe is Luke, because he's probably one of the younger ones of the squad, isn't he? He's only 27, 28, isn't he? I can't remember. KT is one miserable. KT's one miserable looking boy. You need to look at the captain on the pitch, inspire an organisation full game every week. Since the guy something every day, Stevie Woods too. Yeah, the whole Stevie Woods thing's just bonkers. AG for me could fill the gap. Alistair Johnson, but it's yeah, I think Stevie Woods will join Brendan Rodgers. Stevie Woods told fucking the manager to fucking ram it after the manager says you're on a 6-month probation. And he says, what? Fuck off. Look at the board. Highlander 67. Thank you for the super chat. I'll get to that in a second. Morning, Baz. What's the difference between the club's reputation has went down quicker than Titanic? Yeah, exactly. We're in. Look, whether you like me saying it or not, we're in Man United territory here, and the correlation from the way that Man United have just collapsed over the years, we're in danger of doing the same, and it's self-inflicted. And there's no point saying, look at the money we've got in the bank. Man United were the richest club on the planet at one point. Don't know. And it's frightening when you think of the prospects of what could potentially happen. I mean, it's not happened yet, but if this board keep on playing the friggin' stupid games that they're playing, it's I don't even want to think about it, because we're heading back into, and I never thought that we would do this. We're heading back into a 1990s type scenario where we could finish fourth in the league this year. I just I think if we were to finish third, fourth in the league this year, I think at the end of the season, I would take a couple of weeks off YouTube and just not even look at anything Celtic for weeks. I just hide, to be honest, with a hack. The missus is saying, "I fucking right. You can't take 2 minutes off." Tom Boyd became captain after playing less. Mm. One says, "Bring it on." Downward spiral. Yeah, as it's true. If Callum goes, how many others would want away? Um, I think that we know that we're coming to the end of the Dies and Maida story. We know that we're coming. We've been known that. Listen, how much longer does Rio Hitati get at the club? Fucking marauding about as a midfielder for half games, quarter games, one good pass in a game. It is the end of an era. We need some kind of weird messiah, and Martin O'Neill wasn't a messiah. He didn't walk on water. He came in and he got a tune out of the players. He didn't have us playing he got us playing football. But it's where the hell do we go from here? And hopefully, we all know that the board had a meeting with the manager yesterday, and he's managed to save his career at Celtic for another 2 games, as is believed. We'll wait and see. Anyway, Alistair Johnson cared here that we're only serious contenders for captain. I will exclude Cameron Carter-Vickers because I don't rate him like most do. Cameron Carter-Vickers isn't captain material. I know that he's second in command at the club after Calmac, but I don't know. I don't know. Calmac won't be joining Rodgers, says Scott. Calmac's valued at 4.5 million. I'm telling you, if I was Calmac and there's 2 years left in my career at Celtic, if there's 2 years left in my career at Celtic, and you look at the way Calmac must look around the midfield at Celtic and go, it's just a young team, and the standard's not the standard that it's been throughout my career. Calmac will know better than anybody that the standard of player at the club has decreased dramatically over the years. Let's be honest here. Let's have an adult conversation about it. You know, there's wingers that he's played with. There's people came in and knocked James Forrest out the team through Calmac's time, and James Forrest is still there, being relied on by Celtic. The standard, we can all agree, the standard of the player over the last 5 years has slipped. Callum's been here longer than that. Look at the players that played in midfield with during the run to 9 in a row. If you're Calmac and you're thinking, do I really want another 2 years of this? Yeah, I love the club and I love Celtic and I'm Celtic through and through. Or do you sit with your family and you sit with your missus and go, listen, Brendan's asked if we would like to go to Saudi for a couple of years. 2-year deal. Go to Saudi, make some fantastic money. I know it's not ideal, it's not the best country in the world to maybe take a family to, but the cash is phenomenal. You've got to have the conversation with your family, don't you? At the end of the day. And for the betterment of your family, you've got to take that chance. Because he's not going to go down to England and get 80 grand a week. When you look at the likes of Jeffrey Sloop that came into Celtic, it was on 60 grand a week. And Calmac's on 35 or 37. Come on. The guy's got to take that chance. You know, and it's okay for us saying, he'll never leave, he's one of us. Nah, I'm not buying it. I think that he definitely will take it. Johnston or Tierney, easy decision. Hall of Famer Captain Cav. How did we get here? I've been going through a natural downfall for about 2 years now, I reckon. Even if we're bringing a player, they come in as captain unless we get McGinn. This is true. Without Carmack in the middle, my God. McGregor could take the retirement fund. Yeah, he should take the retirement fund. He'll love it. The way that we're heading this year, we won't be second. This is true. I'm going to jump through some of these comments. Apologies if I don't read all the comments. There's 379 now this morning. I'm up to date with this. Danny Cassie's come in with another super chat. Cheers for that, Danny. Let's jump back into the comments. Do you think the ongoing issue with the Green Brigade are having an impact on the field at the moment, or does the board really not care about them? I'm not there in person, so no comment on that one. I don't think that. I don't know where it stops. I don't see the end game. I've asked the question on here about putting up alternatives. Do you know? I don't want to go down that road this morning because I've put up what I think that we need to do as a support is you have to have you have to show an alternative. If you want change, it's change to what? It's you've got to, yes, you want change, but show us what we're going to change to. Show us who we're going to change. You know, the people, and without that, you'll get a lot of fans. You'll get a lot of fans just thingy. So I don't know. I know that they were having online meetings last night. The Celtic Fans Collective. Scott's talking about that. The Celtic Fans Collective struggled to get the state of our club into mainstream media. Now Nancy has done it on his own over 4 games. Hopefully media pressure will bring about change immediately. I'm not sure if it will bring about change immediately. That will... I've told people what I think will happen for us to get change. And you are talking about finishing third. Finishing second will just paper over the cracks again, and the board will go, do you know what, it's been a difficult season, blah, blah. They'll blag it. I think it would, for the change that we want as fans, you're going to have to finish third or fourth. We're going to have to go down the road of 1990s style stuff. And I know it's not what the fans want to change where you never get change while things are going good. Never happens in any business. Things have to go bad before you get change. And are we prepared? I asked this before the manager came in. I asked this on a video before Wilfred Nancy come in. Are you prepared for Celtic to get really bad to force the issue with board members? And a lot of people were like, nah, they're not prepared for it. They don't want that. They think we should get changed now. These people should just leave. It never happens like that in business, especially Celtic. Stevie Wood's been given another 6 months. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Stevie Wood hasn't improved Casper. Can you improve a keeper of his age? That's probably the bigger. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do something. Wait a minute to just say that. And I need to WhatsApp someone. Two seconds. Right, let's move on to the end of the comments. Has Nancy been sacked? No, he hasn't. If McGinn has another 2 years on his deal, be nearly 34. Yeah, that's no good, is it? The Callum story reeks of more media pressure, detailing as stinks of COVID season pish. It's either 67. Well, There's a lot of Celtic media talking about it well before I came on live. So don't blame me for the fucking story, like a lot of people were doing yesterday. It's pretty bad at the moment. Yeah, is that Casper is done? Sinisalo needs to be our number one goalkeeper. Yes, definitely. He does that. I suspect Casper thinks he knows better than, Casper's done. Time for Sinisalo. Right, that is me done and dusted for this morning. I've been on for 40 odd minutes. Let's see what the manager says this afternoon, and let's see if Calmac makes an appearance to the media, because it's not like Calmac to be missing from the media as much as he has been over the last 10 days. Anyway, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Big shout out to Danny Cassie, big shout out to Wee Mitch, big shout out to Danny Cassie Show, the Highlander 67, and finally Danny Cassie. Let's see what the manager has to say this afternoon. On that note, try and have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.